Welcome to the Sunday morning special of the Statline Podcast. This is the 11th Statline Podcast episode, week 12 of the NFL season. How's it going, Atlas? How's your weekend going?
It's going good, man. We're at NFL Sunday. Excited for the games today. We're about to go over those in a few minutes. But yeah, man, been a pretty good week. How about you, Safal?
Yeah, not doing much, I guess, gearing up for the holiday season. I decided not to go home for Thanksgiving because I'm going to be at home for like 2 to 3 weeks in Christmas time, I guess, and rethinking that decision because everyone else went back home for Thanksgiving. I'm here by myself. But other than that, it's been good, chill weekend, just staying home, not doing much, I guess. And then today, gearing up to watch some football.
Yeah, man, the best day of the week as far as sports watching goes. Got some good games today. Got some bad games today as well. So we'll run over the most of
Got
the
the
slate of
biggest game
games.
tomorrow with the Panthers and Niners. We'll get to that later today. But let's get started on the Thursday night game, Atlas. What'd you make of that debacle by Josh Allen on Thursday against Davis Mills and crew down in Houston?
I don't think you can really say Davis Mills and crew. I think it's the Texans defense and crew.
That's
Like
true.
the Texans defense is
That's the
like
best defense in football.
yeah, it's the best defense in football. Like their secondary has got to be the best secondary in football, and Will Anderson's, a rising star at edge, and man, they are so relentless on the pass rush, getting like 8 or 9 sacks against Josh Allen, making it difficult for him to get any time to throw. Obviously their secondary and their front four like works hand in hand and making sure that nobody is open, and also that Josh Allen's scrambling and ends up getting a lot of sacks. So, man, it looked like the Bills could have used like a big body receiver out there, but they've been benching Keon Coleman the past couple games. They're missing Dalton Kincaid. Obviously, James Cook had a legendary performance this past Thursday, but everybody else outside of him was very mediocre, and they were not able to get the job done. But I think the Bills are a little bit shaky of a squad right now, but they'll get it together come playoff time.
Yeah, for sure. The Texans, their defense is so good, man. They got Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter, right? Those are like two of the best edge rushers in all of football this year. You mentioned that secondary led by Derek Stingley. That team is just so good, man. And then C.J. Stroud and Davis Mills. Is there a quarterback controversy in Houston?
I don't think so, man. Like you gotta at least ride out the rest of the season with C.J. Stroud if he's
Davis Mills
healthy.
is 3-0.
But Davis Mills is 3-0. But yeah, it's
C.J.
hard to.
Stroud was what, like 1-4 or something, or 2-4, something like that.
Yeah, I
Or
think like
2-5, whatever.
2-3, 2-5 or something, and then now
Yeah.
they're 6-5, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So I
it's
guess he was 3-5 before he got hurt, and now they're 6-5, 3-0 with Davis Mills.
yeah. Well, it's kind of crazy to think that this is the reality for the Texans. Like they were looking dead in the water a few weeks ago, and obviously the Colts are running away with that AFC South division. But coming on and able to beat the Bills, it was a home game, but it was not expected to go that way, especially on a Thursday night with everybody watching. So it's exciting to see the Texans still being relevant even after all these injuries and C.J. Stroud not being able to perform as highly as he was year one.
Now on the other side in Buffalo, I guess, is it panic time there? They're not going to win the division, right? That's the Patriots division. They're going to have to go on the road as a wild card, hopefully. I don't know, man. Buffalo's not looking as good of a spot as we thought they were, even like just a few weeks ago. They have a semi tough schedule. They still have the Patriots at the Patriots. They have a game at the Steelers next week. They have, Bengals. Maybe Joe Burrow comes back by then. They have the Eagles still. It's not a cakewalk schedule at all.
We're talking about like the Bills like having these big games against the Buccaneers and a few other teams that
Yeah,
like
yeah.
mask
They
their
beat the
true
Ravens
problems.
in week one. That like got everyone rolling for the Bills. They've beaten the Buccaneers. They beat the Chiefs, right? Now the Chiefs aren't as
hmm
good as we thought, but I don't know, man. Most of their wins are cakewalk wins. So even the Panthers, they probably would have lost if Bryce Young played. They only beat the Panthers because it was Andy Dalton and crew. If it was
That was James Cook's
BY9,
game.
that would be a different story.
No, James Cook was always going to run for that much, even if Bryce played. So you guys were kind of cooked, figuratively and literally.
But either way, I mean, I, I, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know if I trust the Bills this year. I know I always like to say, if you got the head coach right, if you got the quarterback right, you got your team right. But that they just don't have any weapons, dude. Especially when Kincaid is out, right? They don't have receivers other than outside of Khalil Shakir. They're so tight end reliant on the passing game. And then everything just falls into Josh Allen's hand. I know they have James Cook and a solid running attack, but even a big part of that running attack is Josh Allen. And when you have that much relying on one singular guy, it just falls apart in the playoffs and in big regular season games. And we saw this with Cam Newton back in the day. Obviously, Josh Allen, at this point has proven that he's better than Cam Newton and whatnot. I think I still like Cam Newton's peak over Josh Allen's peak, but either way, Josh Allen has now, been having this play style for half a decade and been dominating. Cam Newton did not dominate for as long as Josh Allen's been dominating, but we saw it even back then with Cam, where if you put that much pressure on one singular player, when there's 22 guys playing on that field, this is the type of results you're going to see here and there, what we saw on Thursday. And it's just unfortunate for Josh Allen, man. I hope that Buffalo Bills front office can figure it out, give him some weapons. Imagine Josh Allen with a Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, man. That's not fair. That's not fair.
Yeah,
So,
you saw what happened when they brought Diggs in, like
yes,
the
he took
first year.
such a massive step with Diggs, right? And then, oh man, I feel so bad for Josh Allen, but either way, he needs to play better as well. I'm not trying to take him off the hook. That was just a bad game by the Bills, and maybe a sign to come as well. Maybe a shift in the AFC, right? Lamar's out of the playoff picture right now. Mahomes is out of the playoff picture. Josh Allen is hanging in the playoff picture, but Drake May is the man in that division now. But yeah, moving on, Atlas. What game are you excited for today?
I'm excited to see Aaron Rodgers against the Bears,
Oh,
man.
they just ruled him out.
Oh, he's not. I thought he was
No, it happened
questionable
like
for a while.
as we started the podcast.
Oh, dang. So
I,
who's running it? Mason
Mason
Rudolph, I
Rudolph
guess.
is running it for Pittsburgh, yeah.
Okay, no, I don't care about that game.
I mean, same, dude. I was so excited to watch Rodgers sling it again, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be exciting to see. I mean, the Bears are a fun team to watch. It'll be exciting to see if they can get anything done on the Steelers defense.
Yeah.
And then I was also looking at the Eagles, Cowboys. Obviously, got the Kelly Greens wearing today. The Cowboys have been improved the past few weeks, and I think that they could, make a push to try and make the playoffs this year. And obviously, I hope that they don't make the playoffs. They're obviously still a dangerous team with the elite offense that they have right now, and I think that they won't make the playoffs. But this is a big step for us to knock them out of that race and go ahead and beat them for the second time this season. So I'm excited for the game today. Other than that, there's really some dud games. I'm
Colts,
excited.
Chiefs, maybe.
Yeah, Colts, Chiefs. That's okay. I feel like that's going to be like a slow starting game. Into the game may get a little bit exciting. The biggest game.
Forget about all the games today. We got a big one tomorrow. The Carolina Panthers have their most meaningful game in probably 8 years. Since 2018, maybe even 2017. I don't think the Panthers have played in as meaningful of a game as the one they're about to play on Monday night since Cam Newton was rocking that Carolina jersey. And oh boy, am I excited. Bryce Young has me fully bought in as a Panthers fan. I am so excited to go and watch him cook that 49ers defense. J.C. Horn is about to get a pick six on Brock Purdy. I just know Derek Brown's about to get 2 sacks. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful in Santa Clara on Monday evening. I can't wait, Atlas. I cannot wait.
Bryce Young going back to California where he's from, man. I think it's going to be a great
Christian
game for
McCaffrey,
him.
revenge game too.
CMC revenge game, man. There's a lot of storylines that are in effect.
First Panthers primetime game all year. The only one, in fact.
Really? And that's
This is the first time America is going to see Bryce Young on their TV screen.
T-Mac mossing somebody in the end zone would be
I mean,
fire.
what do you think? You think the Panthers can make the playoffs this year?
I mean, this is like you said, this is like an insanely pivotal game. Like they have like about a 50% chance to make it if they win this game, but I think it dropped to like 17% if they lost this game. So like,
I
I
mean,
mean,
put it simply this way: if they win this game, they can make the playoff as a wild card and as a division winner. If they lose this game, the season comes down to those 2 games against the Buccaneers. That's it. If this game is lost, we don't have a hope for the wild card spot. We have to beat the Buccaneers in that game on December 21st that we might be attending in Charlotte, North Carolina. But if they win this game, that game does not become as important.
yeah, no, I think this is it's a massively important game. I do like their chances. I mean, the San Francisco 49ers still are somehow able to win even when Brock Purdy's been out. Mac Jones has been riding the ship pretty good over there. But Brock Purdy is obviously a better quarterback for their team, and I think that they're obviously still a talented offense. CMC is still the guy at running back that he was in Carolina. In some ways he's better. In some ways, he's not as explosive. But there's pros and cons to his game from each spot. But I think it's going to be a very competitive game. I think Rico Dowdle is going to be the key to this game, though. Getting him going early and being able to dictate the flow and tempo of the game, get that time of possession on Carolina's side is going to be very important for the success of Bryce Young at least having a chance at the end of the game. He needs to at least have a little bit of a lead or not be down by that much towards the end, so we can see that as a vintage BY9 fourth quarter comebacks or end of game winning drives and stuff like that, which as I know that you love to see as well.
That man has ice in his veins. I've said it so many times. Like, he could stink it up for the first 45 minutes of the game. He could have 0 yards thrown, 0 for 15, 3 picks. If the Panthers are in a 1-possession game with 2 minutes left and Bryce Young has the ball, I have 0 fears as a Panthers fan. You know what I mean? I watched that game full well knowing Bryce Young is going to get the job done today. We're going to walk out of here with a win. Great game, boys. That's how I think when Bryce Young has the football with a chance to go win it, I guess. And we're going to see it in full action on Monday. Look, the 49ers defense, they're just injured all over the place. Bryce Young should be able to throw the football against them. We should be able to get Rico Dowdle running. Finally, Dave Canales has stopped this BS of running Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle on alternating series. Like, it is Rico's job, and I know he struggled a little running the football last week. He made some plays happen in the passing game, but either way, the Carolina Panthers are finally finding their footing. The culture is shifting in Carolina, and this is a monumental game. Not just in terms of the season outlook. Like I said, yes, the playoff percentages or whatever. Even if we lose this game, we can still make the playoffs by beating the Buccaneers. So, not even from that sense. This game is a monumental game to show yourself, not even the fans, to show the team that we are no longer like, the shitting bed of the NFL anymore. The way we have been for the past, 5 years since Cam Newton left. We've been one of the worst teams in football. Worst coach teams, worst rosters, the worst trades. Everything's been the Panthers. Worst everything has been the Panthers over the past however many years. If we can beat the 49ers this week, that all changes. The culture is completely shifted. We're going to start believing in ourselves as a playoff team, as a contender, and things are going to look a lot better in Charlotte this year and in the coming years as long as we can get that victory on Monday. Huge game for Dave Canales' coaching career. Huge game for Bryce Young's quarterbacking career. It's just a big game, man.
Yeah, 2 points that I got to make before we move on that.
Oh, for sure.
You said CMC's homecoming game, or at least his revenge game. This is also Eddie Piñeiro's revenge game. Yeah, man. But this is a hugely important game, as we said, and this is a game where the Panthers can separate themselves from their NBA counterpart and their neighbor, the Charlotte Hornets, which are a disgrace to the NBA as currently.
Do not get me started on the Hornets, man. Oh.
Yeah, but the
good
Panthers
pick on Concanopoulos, though. Bright side there,
great pick, but yeah, the Panthers need to live it up for Charlotte sports fans because it's not too pretty outside of them right now.
Yeah, I mean, What do you think is going to be the playoff picture, Atlas? Do you think the Panthers make it? Prediction
I think
time.
they, yeah, it's hard to say, man, because there's so many good NFC teams. But yeah, I do think that they can make it at least as a wild card. But this game is if we lose or if the Panthers lose this game
Whoa, it's
and
a
we're
week?
talking. No, I was gonna say if we talk about this after the game is
Oh,
what
I
I
see,
was
I
gonna
see.
say first.
Yeah,
I'm not a Panthers fan, but I do like to root for them while they're on the rise again. This is a good team
it's a hometown
to
team.
support. Yeah, Bryce Young. I love him. I love where he's came from and
His
getting
upbringing.
getting
Just seems
his
like a genuine
upbringing. Yeah,
guy.
he is, and he's he cares about the fans and helping out like kids and stuff in the community. And, I really respect him off the field especially, but. Yeah, so if they end up losing to the 49ers, we'll be talking about this differently. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs after, losing this game, but in my predictions, I will say that they win this game. So based off of that, I think that they'll make the playoffs.
Nice. Now, I guess moving on, Atlas. What do you think the NFL right now is gearing up for a playoffs without their three biggest stars, or do you think one of those guys, or all three of them, get a way to figure out a way to get in? Right now, Patrick
I,
Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen might not make the playoffs, and that might be a big problem for the NFL.
I think honestly all three could also still make the playoffs though. Like I mean, especially the Ravens can definitely win that division.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, with Aaron
The,
Rodgers out this week, if the Bears win, if the Ravens win this today against the Jets, which is gonna happen, that's a bye week for the Ravens, and then
mhm.
if the Steelers lose to the Bears with their backup quarterback, the Ravens are in the division lead. So you're right. Like, of course, they might make it, but there's also a chance they don't. You know.
Yeah, there is a chance they don't, but there's also some teams out in the AFC on the wild card side that I'm not like super high on. If the Texans could easily lose a couple games, and I don't know if they're even in that 7 slot right now. But then the Chargers, they've lost a couple games like in bad fashion, like the game last week against the Jaguars. There's a reality where the Chiefs have a better record at the end of the season than the Chargers do. And that's obviously to be determined, but I think that the Chiefs and the Ravens and even the Bills, all three could make the playoffs. So I don't see all three of them missing the playoffs just based off of their experience in late games, like when they know that they have to win this last game or last 3 games to make
Okay,
the
even if
playoffs.
all three don't miss the playoffs, who do you think is the most likely to miss the playoffs from the three? Mahomes?
I think, yeah, by record wise,
Forget record wise. By
Chiefs.
the end of the year, if I were to tell you two of these teams are going to make the playoffs, one will miss, who would you put your money on that one team is on which team is the one that's going to miss the playoffs?
I would put my money on the Ravens because I still think that the Steelers are going to be able to win enough games
I
like
think the
to
Steelers
beat.
will beat the Ravens as well. I think the Steelers have a team that is designed to beat the Ravens.
Mhm. And I mean Lamar still doesn't look like 100% healthy. He's
That was a
still
bad
dealing with
game against
injuries.
Cleveland.
Yeah, and so I mean there's definitely a reality where
They only
the
won that
Ravens
game
missed
because
the playoffs.
Shedeur played.
Yeah.
With all
Hey,
due
it's
respect to Shedeur.
perfect timing today, man. Perfect timing against the Raiders today. So I'm excited to see Shedeur play his first NFL start today.
For
I
sure.
think, I think he's actually a lot better than most of the
Pundits.
football world is giving him credit for. Like
I mean, he
people
was talked
just
about as a first round talent that dropped to the fifth, right? So clearly he's better than a fifth round
mhm.
level of talent. I think the problem with Shador was always his like extravagant personality per se. Um, and that's fine if you're a top five pick, right? I think the Shador Sanders personality is fine if the the scouts viewed him as a surefire home run, like top of the draft type of draft pick. But once you're falling from the first round into the second rounds, you don't want a guy with that type of personality being the backup quarterback on your team, right? And now Shador Sanders can say, "Hey, I am not backup quality. I was rolling like this because I can ball like this," and he can put that on front row in Las Vegas, a team that he wanted to go to before they got Geno Smith. It's they're not that great of a team either. It's gonna be a battle of the 2 and 8s. So hopefully Shedeur Sanders can pull through, I guess. But I'm also rooting for Geno Smith, man. He's had a tough year. Pete Carroll, 74 years old. This might be his last hurrah in the NFL. He's probably gonna get fired at the end of this year. I want to see some more good moments for Pete Carroll, I guess, before he retires as well, or gets fired at the end of the year.
I mean, you had as good of moments as you could have like hoped for when he was on the
Seahawks. That's
Seahawks, and
true.
I mean, I don't think
Homie
he
won a
would.
Super Bowl, man.
Is he actually going to get fired after this year? You think?
Probably, dude. They're 2-8. Like, how can they go forward with a 75-year-old head coach when you finished a year like this bad?
Ask the Tar Heels, man. They're about to do it.
Nah, Tar Heels better do it. Fire Bill too.
No, he's going to be there next year.
I mean,
Just
college
believe
is a
that.
little different though. Maybe, I don't know if I want Bill next year, dude. Bill has tarnished his reputation as a recruiter. The whole value of Bill was, like, the UNC football program will now go to a recruit's house and say, do you want to play for the greatest football coach of all time, or do you want to go play for, someone else? And the hope was there will be enough kids that say, I want to go play for the greatest football coach of all time. Now, it's just not there. Yes, he's still the greatest football coach of all time, but do you want to play for the greatest football coach of all time whose main, objective is no longer football? It's just hanging out with this girl, chilling, bringing her over to the side. I get it, Don't get me wrong. Like, I get it. But it's not best suited to be the head coach of the UNC football program. If you're just Bill, like, just go retire, enjoy your time with Jordan Hudson or whatever her name is. There's no need to be coaching at this point. Like, what's the point? Go on Pat McAfee once or twice a week, the way you were doing last year. Go hang out with your girl, watch some games on TV, be a TV pundit. Live out the rest of your life that way, the way Saban is doing right now. Saban seems like he's having so much fun on game day.
It's because Saban's been held down by the same woman for years and years, and she's actually a good person. But Bill Belichick's with some 24-year-old that doesn't have like his best intentions in mind. So it's just a difference of the way that they are right now. Saban's covered in all areas. He's
Saban,
good.
yeah. You're saying Saban seems more fulfilled than
Yeah,
Bill.
100%. Like, he's not gonna go out there and do some crazy stuff, but you can never tell what Belichick's about to do. Like, even though there's not been anything like super crazy recently, but I can just think about like when they first got Belichick and the new, what is it, GM Michael Lombardi, or I think that's his name, right? But he was saying that like the Tar Heels are going to be like the 33rd NFL franchise, basically, like with how many like NFL staff and stuff are on there, and they're not even like professional enough to be in college athletics right now. So it's not, just from a professionalism standpoint, like all the drama outside of like the football field, like.
And that's what sucks, right? The reason for hiring Bill Belichick at UNC is, hey, this guy, it's just the aura that Belichick brings. That's all it was. It wasn't anything other than he's going to have a lot of aura, we're going to bring a lot of recruits, and the program will rise because Bill Belichick's name is going to be on it. We're going to be on TV a lot more. We're going to be on big games a lot more because they're going to market Belichick, and Belichick's name's going to be all over the UNC football program. It's going to be good for the program. But now, the Belichick name is no longer, it just doesn't have the aura. You know what I mean? In fact, it has negative aura. Like, it does. At this point in Belichick's career, putting Belichick's name on your football program no longer gives you the aura. And he's just too old. If he was 65, maybe I would still consider it, right? Like, hey, let the man do what he wants to do in his personal life, and then in his professional life, like, as a society, let's keep those two things separate. But when you're the age he is, he's 73 years old, like, what is he trying to do? Like, what is the goal of Belichick being the UNC football coach?
So he can be around his college-age girlfriend. Meanwhile, she's doing like co-ed gymnastics or volleyball, or not volleyball, but cheerleading or something that he's going to on his off time.
Oh my God.
It's just a crazy situation. But
it's crazy that a 73-year-old coach goes to not his granddaughter's cheerleading meets, but his girlfriend's cheerleading meets. Oh man, crazy world that we live in, I guess.
It really is, man. But
But
yeah, we were talking about Pete Carroll and we got sidetracked talking about Belichick, but that's just how captivating the whole UNC situation is right now.
I cannot believe we spent 5 minutes talking about Belichick because Pete Carroll's name got brought up.
We're talking
Uh,
about old men that shouldn't be in the profession right now. They should be retired, chilling.
I guess before we put the finishing touches on the pod atlas, let's go over one last game. The Rams and the Buccaneers, Sunday Night Football. Baker Mayfield going up against his old team in the LA Rams, the team that, revived Baker's career. Stafford playing like an MVP, Puka, Devontae Adams, and then, on the other side, Chris Godwin might be back on Tampa Bay. What do you make of this game? Who do you got winning?
I'm gonna take the Rams, even though this is a more critical game for the Buccaneers to win. The Rams are a little bit healthier right now. Like, is Bucky Irving even
They're
gonna
Super
play
Bowl
this
favorites right
season?
now.
Yeah, they're Super Bowl favorites. The Rams on defense are looking really elite as well as they have the past couple seasons, and yeah, they got the play calling and the talent out there where it's hard to stop them in the red zone. Like, if you're gonna double team Devontae Adams, okay, I'll throw it to one of the tight ends, or I'll throw it to Puka, or I'll run it with Kyron, or I'll do something else with one of these other receivers. Like, they have so many options. I don't think the Buccaneers are going to be able to keep up with them offensively. As you mentioned, Chris Godwin may be coming back, but he'll maybe on a snap count. This is his first game back, and he already got injured the other two games that he did play after those. So I think they'll be cautious about him. Mecca Buka should have a large featured role in this game. But yeah, with Sean Tucker and Rashad White leading the way, I don't think that they're as explosive as when Bucky Irving is healthy. So I'm gonna go with the Rams. Who you got?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Rams in this one as well, and like more than the details of the game, I am so impressed by what the Rams have been able to do over the past couple of years, right? They traded for Stafford in 2020 in hopes for a Super Bowl. Stafford delivered that Super Bowl in his first year. They went all in that first year. They traded for Von Miller, they traded for Odell Beckham. They I don't know if they traded or signed for him, but they traded for Jalen Ramsey. They just said we don't care about future draft picks. They were trying to trade for Brian Burns, and their entire thing was we want to win now because we have a quarterback and a head coach combination that we want to take advantage of. And they did. They won the Super Bowl. And the expected downfall happened as well, right? For a couple years after the Super Bowl, they were not competing at the same levels that they are now. And the way they've just,
Stafford got injured as well in Cup as
yeah,
well. They
but
had a bunch of injuries.
they have completely revamped that defense. They have completely, revamped that offense. Cooper Kupp's no longer the main wide receiver. It's Puka Nacua now. Devontae Adams is there now. It's just a whole new team outside of Sean McVay and Stafford, and they are still rolling the same way they did 3 years ago or 4 years ago when they won the Super Bowl. It's just so impressive to see, man. I am so impressed with what the Rams are doing. They're the best team in football right now. If that blocked field goal doesn't happen in Philadelphia, I think it would be universally looked at. They would
Slim
be.
JD.
Say that again.
I said Slim JD with the field goal block and recovery return for 6. Man, he's had a crazy year, but go back to the Rams.
No, but either way, if in that game that blocked field goal does not happen, they are universally looked at as the best team in all of football, with the best record in all of football, with arguably the best quarterback in all of football, and arguably with the best head coach in all of football. The Rams just have it all, man. I don't know what I give me the Rams all day, every day in this game. As much as I love Baker Mayfield and the Bucks, it's good if the Bucks lose for the Panthers, I guess. So yeah, I like the Rams in this one.
Yeah, dude, the Rams are so stacked. It's crazy to me how they went from Aaron Donald to Jared Verse as like the leader of that defense. I know they play different positions, but that's like their drafting the past few years has been absolutely insane. Their front seven is one of the best in football, and obviously getting Puka in the 5th round might have been the biggest steal in the draft over the past 10 or so seasons at least. So he's insane. So yeah, the Rams, I think they got enough to take out the Buccaneers this week.
Cool. All right, I guess we can end 11th Statline podcast there. We're gearing up to watch the games, guys. almost 11:30 our time. In a couple hours, the games are gonna start, and we'll come right back at you guys next week with the reactions to our games this week. Holla.
Thank you guys for watching. Peace.